Howdy, Hillbilly Nation. This is American Hillbilly. Howdy, Hillbilly Nation. This is American Hillbilly. And welcome to the Guns, Beer, and Therapy Saturday Night Party. Ready? Look at that face! One less can of hard seltzer in this world. I'm proud of myself. Hey there, Hillbilly Nation. How y'all doing? Oh, man. That picture at the end, that was sent to me today by a good friend. And I thought that was the funniest thing I ever seen. So anyway, I just want to thank you all for showing up. I mean, we're just going to have a good time tonight. We got a great panel. We have a rocking side chat, man. So many people out there. And so, like usual, guys, I'm just going to highlight people's comments on the side there because I can't stop and like comment on every one of them and, recognize you guys. So I just want to let you guys know that, I see you out there. I'm acknowledging you guys, and I'm so thankful that you're here. We're just going to have a great time tonight. No doubt about that. We got some great topics, and I mean, it's Saturday night. Let's just have a party. Sounds fun to me. And I want to tell you guys, man, so sorry for missing y'all last Saturday night. Man, I was not feeling good. My throat's still sore, but hopefully I can get through this just fine. So anyway, I want to say thanks to Gizzard Gary and everybody that filled in. I mean, I was able to watch it, and I just had a blast watching it. I'm so thankful they did that, and I hope you all enjoyed it too. So anyway, we're going to bring up some awesome people. They're back there in the green room, and I'm not even going to tell you what they're eating back there. I mean, they won't touch the Bud Light. Well, a few of them did, but I mean, it's free. They're just going to eat it and drink it. It don't matter. So anyway, without further ado, we're going to bring on JH586 Jamie.
Good evening. Thanks for having me.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing better than sliced bread, man. Hope everybody else is as well. Got a good crowd out there already. Let's get this party rolling and see what happens.
You too, buddy. Well, thank you so much for jumping in tonight, man. Always appreciate you. And up next, we have the one, the only Bubba. How you doing, buddy?
Going to find a frog here, split for a waist. Now, I will say this: we did touch some of the Bud Light, but it was only to shoot it. It was free; we didn't have to pay for it, so we're just going to shoot
it. There you go, buddy.
I think I found a couple seltzer cans back here too. I think we're going to shoot them. Is that all right?
Oh, yes, definitely yes.
All right.
Bud Light, seltzer. I mean, just go at it, buddy.
All righty.
And I do recommend on my channel that if you show up at my gun range drinking hard seltzer, you have to be wearing yoga pants. So just remember that if you ever come over here.
Yoga pants and pineapple pizza.
Well, all right, buddy. Well, thanks for being on tonight. And we're going to welcome the next guy, the one, the only, reloading from the hot pot. He's a smoking. Looky there at that guy. How you doing, Gene?
Hillbilly? That sounds like a challenge with the seltzer and the yoga pants. Well, you're not that far away. That might be worth the dollars and cents it'd take to get there.
Well, you're always welcome, buddy.
Thanks for having me
mean-
on. I appreciate you. It's good to be here. Just been busy the last couple weeks, man. Just work. Finally got tonight free for a little while, and man, happy to be here.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Gene, for jumping on, buddy. I appreciate it. And up next, we have a guy that just, I mean, we all know him. I mean, he loves to give people the bird. And we got the one and only Gizzard Gary. How you doing tonight, Gary?
I'm doing all right, man. Thanks for inviting me, and we're glad to have you back. I don't know about that imposter last week, but man, I'm glad to have you back.
Oh man, y'all did such a great job. I laughed till it hurt. I wasn't feeling good, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, it was so funny." I enjoyed it so much. I appreciate y'all doing that because, I mean, it's like Tim S told me earlier. He said, "Yeah, I'll be there." He said, "There ain't nothing else to do on Saturday night, nothing good on TV." So that's right. That's why we're here.
That's right.
So anyway, we will just jump right in, guys. And let me go ahead and put up for the giveaway tonight. And actually, we're going to have 2 giveaways tonight. Believe it or not. I mean, you know. All right. So I have the StreamYard up and running, ready for these hashtags. So if you want to enter in our giveaway tonight, make sure you type in hashtag HBN for Hillbilly Nation 17, and that'll get you entered in our giveaway. So we were talking backstage back there in the green room, and anyway, Gene had brought up a really good point, and of course, I have topics for tonight. Don't get me wrong. I won't surprise you guys with some topics. I mean, we always gotta go there. But anyway, Gina had a really good point we were talking about back there, and so I'm like, why don't we just go ahead and start out with that tonight? And so, Gene, you want to give a little bit the story you sharing with us earlier?
Oh, about firearms.
Yeah.
Well, firearms are a perishable skill. So once you think you've honed your skills to the point that you're proficient, and then you lay your firearm down and you don't touch it for a month, 2 months, and you pick it back up, your skills are gone. You have lost your proficiency. And this is, from everything I've researched on it, some things are perishable skills. Riding a bicycle is not. Throwing knives is a perishable skill. You know, you may be able to throw knives at that chick on the spinning wheel every night, but don't do it for a month. Man, you're probably going to stick her. But firearms, my experience today, I did a USPSA event, and I have not gotten my USPSA gun out for a couple months now. And I've taken it for granted. You know, I've been busy with work and just this excuse and that excuse not to get it out and not to practice with it. And I went and shot an event today, and I had a dumpster fire. When I take the time to practice and be proficient with it, I don't have dumpster fires. I have good events. What I was telling you, Hillbilly, my personal carry, the gun that I carry with me every day, every morning when I put it on, I do draws with it. It's unloaded, of course, you know, only anybody out there to say anything about that. It's always unloaded, but I do dry draws with it. I do dry fire with it before I leave my home, because I want to be proficient with what I'm carrying on a daily basis. And I know better. I knew better to leave, you know, my competition gun alone by itself, lonely self, in its bag in the safe. It missed me. but I did. I left it alone. And in turn, I went to an event today and my skills had fizzled away. And I didn't start to retain them until halfway through the match. And we're talking 12 stages. So it took me 6 stages to start to come back to it again, where I could noticeably draw beyond target and transition between targets effectively.
Well, Michael Dunn had a good suggestion there. Try doing your math in yoga pants. Maybe that'll help.
What if I wear all camo? Camo tank top, camo yoga pants.
I think that's just as bad, actually.
Well, I'd match. I got my camo shirt on right now, so I mean I could wear this, before the reveal of the.
So we'll just kind of start with that. With what you said, Gene, you hadn't did those reps in a while, and so today you noticed it, and so we'll just kind of go around the room here, and we'll just go backwards here. We'll start Giz or Gary. Have any of you guys noticed, if you ain't been to the range or ain't shot your gun for a little while, can you tell difference?
Well, it's kind of like I asked out there in the chat. What if you never had any skills to start with, and you really don't seem to be any worse than you was the time before? Yeah, I mean, there's some validity to that. It takes a few magazines through the gun before you remember, okay, exactly, how do I balance out my grip, get the pressure just right to where I can put rounds on target on a regular basis and stuff like that. So, I don't do competitions or anything like that, but yeah, going to the range is something, the more you go, the better you will get at it. I mean, in all seriousness, yeah. So yeah, I notice it.
Awesome. Alrighty, and I did notice a while ago. See, let me get back to it here. Where'd it go? Doggone it. Boomstick. He said, I can't find the comment right now. Oh, there it is. So his main channel's been suspended for 2 weeks. So we got Boomstick's Revenge up here right now. And buddy, man, I hate that for you. Hopefully you get it back really soon, because we enjoy watching your videos, and man, that sucks when that happens. I mean, it really does. So we hope you get it back real soon, buddy. So Bubba, what do you have to say about this, what Gene was talking about?
Figure I'd move the mic closer for this. Yeah, I can guarantee you it's a very, very perishable skill. Where I haven't been out to I was actually going to go out to the range today, and then the second I went to turn into the range, it started raining. Screwed that all up. So yeah, I haven't sighted in a rifle in a long time, and I used to be pretty good out to 400 yards, but I haven't done any long range shooting in a while, so even that goes away. Everybody's just like, well, you use a scope. It's like, doesn't matter. And reaction times and stuff like that. I used to do a lot of 2-2-2-4 drills, a lot of 1R drills, or R1 drills, or whatever you want to call them. Wasteland shuffle and all kinds of other different stuff. And I can tell you right now, my reaction time's way worse than it was even just a couple of weeks from being away from the range or being away from a training course. I would have to agree with Abigail over there. Doing the dry fire training and stuff really does help keep some of your muscle memory for that stuff. But as far as the rest of it is concerned, your reaction time is not going to be as good and everything like that. And it's hard to train reaction time just dry firing. Plus doing a lineup for different shots and stuff. That's why I recommend anybody get you a decent airsoft pistol with a blowback if you're going to train with a pistol, because it's close to 1-to-1 for recoil for a lot of them newer airsoft pistols coming out. So I like to train with that. So I'm at least training recoil and training dry fire training. So yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean that makes sense. Well, their sauce definitely have come. Excuse me, guys. Well, their sauce have definitely come a long ways. So, that's something you can just go out in your backyard and shoot too. So, all right, Jamie, what do you have to say on the subject, buddy?
I'm going to agree and disagree. I think when you shoot at the level Gene and Chris and all you guys that do competition shooting, I agree totally 100% with what Gene said. But there's also a part of me that believes if you can shoot, you can shoot. I think the more you go to the range and the more you shoot that carry gun, the better off you're going to be, and the better off the people around you are going to be. But I believe once you gain the skills to be able to shoot well enough to put meat on the table and protect yourself and your family, I think that skill will diminish, but only to a point. I think I think I think you once you gain those skills to be able to do that, to be able to shoot proficiently, yeah, that you're going to lose that razor edge, but you're always going to be able to pull that gun and put a round on a threat. I just do, and maybe not where exactly you're aiming, but yeah, you'll be able to defend yourself. I believe.
I'm gonna, Jamie. I'm gonna agree with you on that a little bit. Um, Once you have acquired some skills and you do carry on a daily, and you handle your firearm on a daily. Um, you unload it, you reload it, you dry fire a couple. You play with it. I don't want to use that word play, but it's basically it. So you
Practice,
play
yeah.
with it, and that's what I do with my daily carry every morning. I play with it because I want to be familiar with it. I want to be accustomed to it. It doesn't mean I'm going to shoot it, but I at least want to be familiar with it. I already know I can shoot it,
Right.
but just being familiar with it is a good thing. But I like what Abigail said. Even going out and training, weather does not dictate your safety. So going to the range when you're pulling in the range and it starts raining, pull in and park and get out. Shoot in the rain. Safety does not dictate with the weather. Weather doesn't care about your safety, where you're at, what you're doing. You're walking to get Christmas gifts at your local store, and there's 8 inches of snow on the ground, and you're assaulted. It doesn't care. So
Yeah.
if it's raining when you pull into the range, hey, here's a good chance for me to train in the rain.
See,
Yeah,
and it's odd
hopefully
to
you got
me.
some of that Aegis gun cleaner kit to clean that rain off there.
Absolutely. It's odd to me that this topic comes up tonight because a good friend of mine and I were having this exact discussion earlier this week, and he goes and shoots a lot, but he like me, it's getting harder for us to be able to get range time because of the fact that we live so close to Atlanta. A lot of the ranges that we used to go to when we were kids done got bought up, and there's now subdivisions or condos there. So I mean, it's crazy around here, but I believe to shoot on that razor edge like Gene and the rest of the guys have to, you got to be going out there and you got to be practicing a lot and you got to keep doing it. But I also believe that you those skills do diminish. I just don't think they diminish to the point that you're totally inept at shooting. I can't make myself believe that.
No, that's the part I agree with you on, Jamie. That it does not make you inept, but I don't like my skills diminishing.
Well, none of us
But that's
do.
me. That's me. That's me personally. That's not everybody. That's
And
only the way
another point you got to look at too, Gene. Even with that practice and shooting those matches all the time, as we get older, as Tommy Boy's pointed out, he's got a medical thing going on, and yeah, as you get older, those skills are going to diminish also. So we got to think about that as well.
Yes, absolutely. I do shoot with some older men that in their day were hot. I mean, they were the cream of the crop, and now they're still out there shooting, but I see them diminishing too, and I know one day I will be there. I'm still in very good physical health, very lucky. I'm not on any meds. I don't have therapies. I don't have surgeries. Um, so I'm very fortunate in life.
Well, we're having therapy right now, guns bearing therapy.
Well, this is mental therapy. I'm talking physical kind. I'm very fortunate in my age to be in the position I'm in,
Yeah.
and I'm just trying to take full advantage of it before I can't.
I will say this: I will shoot in the rain. The range does not stay open when the rain is there, so that is an excuse.
I wasn't picking on you, not at all.
No, I'm just being specific. I wanted to state that out there, but I can't get to the range if it's closed. But I absolutely agree. Weather's not really ever affected me, but when there's range rules, you kind of have to abide by them.
Yeah, me and Gary was actually talking about this last night after his show, and for those of us that just has a range in our backyard or wherever close by, that's a big advantage, and it's man, take advantage of it.
Well, I'll tell you what, the range I belong to, I pay to belong to it. I've busted through snow drifts to get in there to do shoots.
There you go.
I mean, it's open all the time. I'm very lucky this way that if it rains, it doesn't close. If your key card opens the gate, come on in.
Well, that's nice.
And I love that about it. We're just very fortunate.
Well, Bubba, it sounds like you're trying to suck a strawberry through a McDonald's milkshake, buddy.
Essentially, that's what this is. I keep forgetting my mic's really sensitive now. Hold on.
All right, guys. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic because now this might not include everybody if you're not a hunter. So I apologize, but I thought this would be, I have a couple topics that's here real close to this range here. And so I thought this might be something fun for some people. So we'll just go ahead and start out with you, Jamie. So what's your best hunting story and what gun was you using, buddy? And I mean, you don't have, nobody has to go into graphic details by any means, but it's like, what was that shot? The turkey just stuck its head out behind the tree and all you had was a slingshot and a rock or a, life card 22, I mean, and they also side chat, man, appreciate you guys being here. And man, please comment. I love looking at your comments and reading them. And you guys are as much part of this as, we just appreciate you all so much.
So I'll tell you my quick best hunting story is we were hunting the rut, and this was November 13th, I think, of 2015. Biggest buck I've ever killed. It's the only reason I can remember all that. And I was typing a text to my buddy because I'd been on, we got the Georgia hunting app thing, Department of Natural Resources. And it said the best time was going to be after the morning, the best time was going to be from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock because it was peak rut. I mean, they were hot. And
Yeah.
I'd seen 2 deer early that morning, and I was in a stand we call a tripod. And I was texting my buddy. It was getting 11 o'clock, and I told him, I said, I was texting him that we need to get down and go get lunch and get back before 2 o'clock. And I heard a deer down in the other field, and I looked up and I could see this doe, and she kept looking back, and I knew there was a buck behind her. So I put my phone in my pocket and got my rifle up, and she come walking like 25, 30 yards in front of my stand, and she stopped, and then the buck come up behind her, and I put that Seiko AV chambered in 270 Winchester right at the base of his neck and squeezed one off. He stumbled about 10 yards and piled up down in the brush. And I texted my buddy and told he texted me, "Did you get him?" I'm like, "I got him." And I said he never regained his feet, and he didn't. And actually, he was buried in that brush. So now this is like a 200-pound buck, 13 points, twin G3s, 9 yards, whole 9 yards, man. And he was buried in that brush so bad. The only way I found him was I tripped over. Truth. So that's my best hunting story.
Dang. That sounds a lot better than Tommy Boy's hunting story there. Doggone it. Man, that's awesome.
You didn't holler, "There's a snake in my boot," did you? Because that might not have been an accident.
So, Bubba, do you have a hunting story for us, buddy?
What was it? My brother and me, I think I was 14 or 15. I can't remember. Whatever legal age it was, you could own a shotgun back in early 2000s. I was walking with my brother and we were squirrel hunting, and he had a little semi-auto 22. I think it was a Marlin, actually, if I remember correctly. And I had my little New England Firearms 410 breakdown, and he was arguing with me back and forth. He kept on saying that he could shoot the 22 faster than I could the New England Firearms. I was just like, bet. So first squirrel we saw, I went through 20 rounds before he went through his whole tube. And yeah, he never second guessed me. There was nothing left of the 5 squirrels we saw though, but yeah.
Well, so Gary, you ever doing any hunting, buddy? You got a story for this?
Now I know you're looking at old Gizzard and think that boy ain't never hunted in his life, but there was a time back when I was a kid because Dad was a big bird hunter. So
Betcha.
I was probably 17 or 18 years old, and we was out coming up the side of a duck pond. We was pretty sure there were some ducks on there where we had permission to hunt, and we come up over the top of this bank, kind of the hill going up to it, and oh my God, there's half a dozen birds up there. So we got them up flying. Dad and I both took a couple birds apiece, and didn't see no more that were close enough to shoot. So Dad, he was sitting there loading the shells back into his gun. All of a sudden, one of them ducks had evidently dived under the water because it come up out of the water, flapping its wings, and it took off. And Dad looked at me. He said, "Get him." So I raised up my shotgun, got in behind him, let him just perfect, boom, rolled him in the water. Dad said, "Good shot, kid." And yeah, that's one of my better hunting stories. Is like I was the only one who had a shot, and by golly, I didn't miss. So yeah, I might not have her now, but I did at one time. So still got that gun. Old
That's
Sears
awesome.
and Roebuck shotgun, 12 gauge.
Nice. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Well, I can't imagine anybody growing up in Kansas and not bird hunting at least.
Oh yeah, quail, duck,
Dove.
prairie chickens, pheasant. Yeah.
You betcha. We used to go out every year to Kansas, the western Kansas area, and quail hunt every year,
Pheasant.
pheasant hunt every
Yeah.
year. So
Yeah, Dad had a German short hair pointer, and his buddy had a couple Brittany spaniels he used for retrievers, and they used to go hunting together. And lots of stories we could tell those hunting trips. The older guys and me and stuff said, "Don't tell anybody you saw this, kid," stuff like. Might have been a bottle passed around. You never know. This is in the 70s. We wasn't too smart back then. So.
All right, buddy. I enjoyed that too, man. That's awesome. So, Gene, you got any hunting stories, bud?
Well, I spent a lot of time out hunting and fishing with my grandfather, who was the male role in my life. And thinking back about it, it didn't matter what we brought home. It didn't matter what deer, what rabbits, what fish, what catfish. My best stories and memories are spending time with someone who educated me on how to maintain myself. That's the best stories. That's the best memories and stories I have of that. And that's, I really can't say any more than that. It was the quality of the time that I spent learning all the essential skills.
Yeah, and especially as a younger kid, if you had the opportunity to go hunting, that's where you learned your gun safety, and you learned your skills. Everything. Like you said, I mean, that's just for me, that was a big part of my life. What actually got me into firearms, and it's all good memories. And so I guess I'll give my best hunting story. I don't know if anybody's gonna believe this or not, but it's true. So I was hunting on some friends of ours' land, and so they had a pretty good size spread there. And around here, if you've ever been to the Ozark Mountains, there's a lot of big oak trees, just trees everywhere. And they were actually clearing some of this up, closer to their house, for some pasture. So we pulled, into their house, and went around there. Basically, most usually a lot of the people had roads going along their fence line so they could check the fence line and stuff, So it was actually going to be hunting around on the back side of their property. And was coming along and had this big brush pile out there just seasoning, so they could burn it. And not too far from that was, some more patch of woods. And so as I was driving through there, I seen this, buck on the other side of this brush pile. And it was a good sized brush pile. Something you definitely could never jump over, And so I stopped, I got on my rig, and I walked towards that brush pile, to keep it between me and that buck. Well, of course, he heard me and stuff like that. So as I started easing my way around that brush pile, he's already leaving, heading towards those woods. And so when I stepped around and he seen me, he was looking at me running, and he ran right into a tree and broke his neck. I never fired a shot. That's the truth. I had to put him down, but I didn't have to fire a shot to take him down, And that was I wouldn't believe it myself if I wasn't there. I mean, it was a once in a lifetime deal. There's no doubt about that. So, real quick too, guys. Well, you don't have to go around the room, but I think this is fun and also for a side chat. But we're talking about hunting or maybe even fishing. So, um, the food that's always you always was the main part of hunting. So either like me, it's either peanut butter and jelly sandwich or uh, Viennese in a can. When I go with one of my grandfathers, he drank black coffee. So when my grandma would make homemade chocolate chip cookies, and then they'd have an empty milk jug. They filled up the water. She'd put in the freezer, and so during the day, if he's hunting or fishing, you had to wait for that water to melt, to get you some water. So, I mean, if you want a cookie or a sandwich and the water hadn't frozen enough to drink, then, I don't care. At 12 years old, you was having a drink of black coffee to go along with whatever you had. So, anybody else has some like interesting, fun snacks or foods or whatever that you carried along with you during hunting or fishing or something like that?
Yeah, I got one. Man, it's kind of, neither here nor there, but me and my grandpa used to go catfishing. And we go down by this dam and we get to catch these channel cats. And the bait we made up was Wheaties and bread. Just a simple dough, a sweet dough. And they caught the channel cats really well, but man, I find myself eating more of that than I was putting on the hooks.
Oh man, that's funny.
Kid, eating Wheaties.
You
It wasn't
betcha.
bad for me, but I was eating
used-
fish food.
I used to take liver bait when I go catfishing, and we'd take a little bit of grill with us, and we'd sit there and set that thing up, and we'd cook the chicken liver we was using for bait.
Nothing wrong with
I've
that.
done that before. But any other time I always had like a ginger stick or a cinnamon stick in my mouth, and there's something to chew on, so I'm not thinking about the hunger, and I'm feeling like I'm eating something, Other than that, it would be like beef jerky or something of that nature, or deer jerky my cousin made or something like that.
We're spoiled where we hunt. It's only like about 10 minutes from the house, and we'll have to go by a Mexican restaurant on the way there and on the way back. So,
You got a
but
burrito in your pocket, didn't you?
no, I keep a bag of jerky, like Bubba said. Those whole grain cereal bars? You know
Oh,
what I'm talking
yeah.
about? I
You
keep
betcha.
a couple of those in my backpack with a bottle of water, and I got this theory that if you're out there hunting, you don't need to freeze your water. I mean, it's going to be cold because it's hunting season around here. It's anywhere from uh, 20 to 50 degrees in the morning, and so yeah, it'll be cold enough. What I used to like to do, and I know this is crazy off topic, but I'd take a bottle of water kind of like this and put it in the freezer when
Yeah.
I'd go play golf, and I'd wrap it up in a towel and throw it in my golf bag. And then on those and we walked the course. We didn't pay for carts and all that. So in July, when it's really, really hot, you take that towel and unroll it and just put a little bit of that water, that thawed out water on that towel. Just wipe your face off with it, man. Bring you back to life, man. That's really important.
You betcha. All righty. Well, guys, also don't forget to put in your hashtag HBN17, and we'll be having a drawing and here in a little bit. And actually, we're going to have two drawings tonight, so make sure you get that in. So you guys ready for the next topic? Um, this could line up a little bit with I kind of picked this because I was talking about the hunting story or whatever. But so, what's your best shot that you've done? At a range, whatever. Was it a trick shot? Was it a long yardage shot? And what gun was you using? I mean, something that like you shot. It's like if you was at a hole in one on the golf course. That's something you'd remember. You'd be like, yeah, I had my 7-iron, and there's a par 3. So what kind of shot have you done with your firearm, pistol, rifle, whatever? That you just remember, it's like, man, I really felt good about that. So, at the range, shooting an acorn out of a tree from, 600 yards, it don't matter, So, anyway, we'll just, we'll go backwards this time, Gene. We'll just start with you, buddy.
Well, let's see. I'm going to have to do 3.
All right.
I can't do a single. It's going to be 3.
All right, buddy.
With a rifle would be Jamie's 6.5 Creedmoor, 1,000 yards. Excellent rifle. Fabulous scope. Wonderful to shoot. In a competitive mode, 50 yards, life-size chicken target. Steel.
Nice.
Knocked it off its perch. At the range, just blinking around, 6-inch square steel plate with a 9mm pistol. My Staccato P.
You might be offending Gary there shooting them chicken targets.
It was steel. It was steel. It was not real. It was simulated.
Well, man, that's some good shooting, Gene. That's something to remember and be proud of, buddy. So, how about you, Gary?
Well, once again, this goes back to my days of my youth, back when I was good at something. But I and my cousin was out. Believe it or not, we were out checking trot lines on this farm pond outside of town where we had set them the night before, and we went and got all the fish and everything off there, and we was walking back to the road where my vehicle was, and I happened to have my 22 with me. Well, it was an old antique single shot Mauser bolt action that my dad had. I have it now. And we got to the vehicle. I looked at my cousin, looked back at that pond, and there was a metal pipe sticking out of it off to the side. It was a good 100 yards from that. I said, "You think I can hit that from here?" He said, "No." And I said, "Well, let's just see." So I put a round in there, took a shot, pow, ping. I said, "See, I told you I could hit that." So
Nice.
Yeah, that's about it. But I was just surprised as he was, to tell you the truth. But I acted like I knew what I was doing. So that thing was really accurate for an old gun. Yeah.
Wow.
That's it.
Man, that's awesome. All right, Bubba. So, what stories of your marksmanship you got, buddy?
I want to say 13. Pretty sure I was 13. And my stepdad at the time had a 30-30 Marlin. If I remember correctly, it was lever. I'm pretty sure I had to kerchunk it. So yeah, it was a lever action. And he was telling me, because my grandfather was talking about how when he was in the service. Now my grandfather served in the 34th parallel in Korea, and he said during his time they could shoot the spade out of Ace of Spades at 300 yards. And I always thought that was fascinating. And my stepdad at the time always argued with my grandfather. Always said he didn't know what he's talking about. Like it's not possible to do that. Well, everybody knows now that it's completely and totally possible, especially with a 30-06. Everybody knows that completely possible. But he said, well, this 30-30 can only shoot out to about 250 yards. You know, this is back when I was a kid, so he really, you guys can really tell how much this guy didn't know anything. So we had a ace of spades set out at 400 yards, and I pulled up his 30-30, aimed down the sights as best as I could make out the ace of spades that we had down there, and I shot that spade right out of there. And to this day, I still make fun of him for it. Like he's not my stepdad anymore, but I still make fun of him every time I see him.
I don't blame you, man. I'd be carrying that card around my pocket just to show him every time.
Well, that's the best shot I ever made, and kind of got me started on trying long range shots and stuff. But I haven't done it here recently, so I probably couldn't hit the broadside of a barn at 400 yards, to be honest. Up to 200, yeah, no problem. But 400, probably not too much anymore. Yeah. There's actually another interesting story about my stepdad at the time. He's also my cousin. On my dad's side, it's not my mother's cousin. My dad's cousin. Let me state that clearly. It's my dad's like second cousin or something. But she married another Deshaun, so she thought it was going to be different. It's just like, you know, my dad's like, it's just Deshaun blood. We don't. we're pretty much cut from the same cloth as far as attitude is concerned. So yeah, but I always made fun of my mom because of that too. It's like, well, ever go to a family reunion to get a date, you might be a redneck. She get mad and fire at me.
Well, all right, Jamie. So, what you got, buddy?
Another deer hunting story with this 35 Remington Marlin lever action. I was hunting in that same stand I was telling you about earlier, and little 6-point buck walks out there, and at that time that was the biggest deer I'd ever saw while hunting. So I'm killing this thing, right, and I'm putting my rifle up, and he sees the movement, and he turns and he looks right at me, and he turns around and looks, and then he looks back at me. What he's doing, he's looking at where he's going. So I moved my gun over to where he looked, and all of a sudden he took off running. And when he got in that open spot, I popped him on the run right in the front shoulder. He piled up dead. And
Nice.
Michael Dunn, another, I was 10. I was younger than that. I was probably 8 and got my first BB gun. And this was a robin, it was robin redbreast was the kind of bird. And I saw her fly down, and I didn't know it was a her at that point. I was 8. And she lit on a limb in a tree, and I just threw my BB gun up, and I shot, and I killed that bird and dropped her dead. And I went out there and got her, and when I went out there to get her, I found her nest and all the babies. And you talking about feeling a bad feeling, little 8-year-old boy. So we tried to take care of those birds, and bad story, I know. So let's hear yours, Hillbilly. I know it's going to be better than that one.
Oh man, yeah. I think we all, as maybe young boys, have done something like that, and that's probably what made us better people, because we realized what that was, and I think that's happened to a lot of us. Man, I got a couple of them. Probably one of the more recent ones. the first card split I did with my high point, I thought it was going to take me several shots to do it, and I did it on the first shot. That really made me happy. I mean, I was like, I couldn't believe it myself, you know. And then when I was younger, I had this. My first gun is a IFCA lever action single shot 22, and anyway, I just love that gun, and I'd like to get another one. You know, if anybody ever comes across one of those for sale, please let me know. But I had a neighbor, and he was probably he just got married and stuff, so he's a good 20 years older than me, and he come over one day. I was out there shooting, trying to shoot acorns out of a tree or something. And he said, "Hey, let me show you this trick." And he picked up a rock just about, a little bigger than marble size, probably a golf ball size. He tossed that thing up in the air and he shot that, and that rock just blew up. I was like, "Oh my goodness, you got to be the best shot in the world." I was a pretty young kid. And I tell you what, I practice on rocks. I mean, I started out with grapefruit size rocks, just trying to hit one of them. And I eventually, after a few years of practice, I could literally flip a quarter up in there and shoot that. And I tell you what, that was the most amazing feeling, as a youngster that, I was just really proud about that. And never gave a second thought about any ricochet or nothing when I was throwing stuff up and shooting it that age. But, that was some of the better ones. And then actually when I did that Oakley Annie challenge, I really did not think that I was going to get through with that, without several shots. And I think that depends. It kind of comes back around to that little 22. Getting used to a gun, if it's a rifle or a pistol, to where it just kind of becomes part of you, and you know how to aim it, and stuff. That just makes quite a bit of difference for me. It does, anyhow. Yeah, Tiger Blood. Yeah, now I'm shooting Bud Light and hard seltzer cans.
So, I got to jump in here. The card thing, that was on video where you shot the cards sideways. I saw that video.
Yeah, yeah. And I used two cameras. I mean, one showing the actual shot and then a close up because, I didn't want anybody to think, well, this is staged, and if I miss, I miss. Some of those I had to take a couple shots on, but it's just, it's fun to push yourself because I didn't think I could do a lot of that stuff, but what I did is I got a rifle that I was really used to, and and that makes a lot of difference, I think.
Yeah, it
Was
does.
that new 50 AE you have? The bullet's about an inch wide. Nah, I watched the video, man. That was a great shot. Great shot.
Yeah, it was.
Well,
And as far as that 22, I think we've had this discussion, but I have that gun.
oh, you're kidding me. Oh my gosh.
Single shot Ithaca.
Yes. Yeah,
Little
top
falling
speed.
block thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doggone it. This is going to cost me all my lever guns and my revolvers.
Yeah. But see, that's the first gun I ever owned. I got that when I was 10 years old. I don't know if I can part with it.
Yeah. Well, I don't blame you. I got mine when I turned 12. And
And
yeah,
they're
and
you guys that don't know, they're really thick barrels on those little guns. Now, the barrel ain't long. It's like, what, 18 inches maybe?
Yeah, maybe. It's definitely a youth type model for back
Right.
then. I mean, back then they didn't have youth models very much, but if anything's considered a youth model, that probably was, I would think.
And mine's got really blonde wood on it, real light colored wood, and it's a Ted Williams that came from Sears. But as I researched it, as I got older, it's the Ithaca single shot.
Yeah, mine actually had Ithaca stamped on it and everything, and yeah, it was just it ended up getting stolen, and I've looked in many pawn shops over the years and stuff trying to find one, and not had any luck, but
They shoot. they shoot well.
yeah. I tell you, they were good shooting guns. I mean, at least for me, it was. But like I said, something that you're used to and feel comfortable with. I think that's a lot of it. So, I tell you what, guys, let's go ahead and do this first giveaway, and make sure you get your hashtag HBN17. That stands for Hillbilly Nation. And this is our 17th show, believe it or not. We've not got kicked off yet. So as long as people enjoy it and they don't kick us off, we'll just keep doing it. So far, we got 30 people watching and only 15 entries. So make sure you get that hashtag in out there, everybody.
Here comes a couple more.
Yeah, there we go. All right. Let's get those numbers up. Speaking of giveaways, I won a great one, Gizzard Gary's last night. These giveaways are so much fun. I mean, I enjoy watching people get stuff. I enjoy winning myself. I mean, and so
It's right here waiting to be taken to the post office, man.
All right.
No, I had a bunch of stuff. I went through a box of stuff I had stored. It's like, I need to start giving some of this stuff away. It ain't doing me any good sitting in this box. So.
Honey says, let me first say, hashtag rigged. So I'll go ahead and show, while we're still waiting on some of those hashtags, I'll go ahead and show you guys what I got here. And it's what I've been giving away for a while. And, it's pretty good little giveaway. I mean, this is a knife. It is a little tactical type survival knife. Anyway, it's got a decent little blade on it here with a can opener. You got a straight edge and a serrated edge. Does have a belt clip on it here. It's got a window breaker right here and a seat belt cutter or rope cutter. And so we keep one of these in the console of each rig and one in the field bag, and stuff to take to the range or whatever. Let's see. It also has a little LED flashlight here. Turned on here. And then that has a little magnet on the back of it. So it just pops back in here, which is nice. You can turn this actually on while you have your knife open, so you can kind of see what you're cutting also if it's in the middle of the night. And then also it has a little starter stick on here, starting fire starter stick. So it is all steel. They come in red, black, blue, and green. So whoever wins, email me, and I'll put my email up here in a minute, and what color you'd like. So Anyway, without any further ado here, we will go ahead and make this drawing.
I won one of those knives from you, and it's in my range bag. And that is a nice piece. I mean, I've pulled it out and used it at the range. I have not cracked open any Bud Lights with it. Okay, with the bottle. No.
I know Pat from the bunker. He said he carries his and cuts strings on bales of hay and stuff with it all the time. So anyway, so we got 19 people entered in here. So let's go ahead and wind this thing up and give it a spin and see who we got here. Ha ha! Boomstick!
Woo!
Yeah.
All right, I got your name written down there, and just email me if you'd like black, red, blue, or green. And let me go ahead and put my email up here for you guys. There it is. So
the blue is pretty. The blue.
His son has his knife that he won. So all right, everybody congratulating Boomstick on that win, or should I say Boomstick's revenge? So I am going to reset this here because we have another drawing. So let me get that set up real quick. And actually, while I'm doing that, let's go ahead and go on to the next topic.
Before we do that, Hillbilly,
Yeah.
I got to get off of here. I got to get to bed. I got to get over to the range tomorrow morning, and we can start setting up the Buckeye Blast, which is a multi-state event here held in Ohio for USPSA practical shooting. So I'm going to have to get off here and wrap myself up and get to bed, sir.
Okay. Well, Gene, why don't you go ahead and plug your channel too, buddy? I really appreciate you jumping on, and good luck tomorrow. And go ahead and plug your channel if you want to, buddy.
Well, on my channel, I like to offer good gun gear and accessory reviews for the everyday consumer at budget prices. Some high end, but mostly budget friendly prices for what you get. Also, be sure to check out Chris from the 740 on Wednesday nights at 9 o'clock and the Georgia Shooting Connection on Friday nights at 8 o'clock. That's all Eastern Standard Time. I'm proud to be a guest on each one every week. Man, it's such an honor and a pleasure. And just be sure to check us out. We always got some good content, some good information going on.
All right. Everybody get over and check out Gene's channel and subscribe if you're not already. Great channel. You will not be disappointed. Thank you so much, Gene, for jumping on tonight. I really appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you, sir. And always remember to keep blowing the smoke.
Good night, Gene.
Not everybody.
Night. Well, Bubba, Boomstick said you gave him yours when you won. I sent that to him. So, good karma, buddy. Look at there. Coming back to you.
Don't worry, I'm going to do it every single time if I do win any of these rolls. So, all right, I'll take it, Boomstick. Thank you, buddy.
Well, awesome. And so I got this set up here. So let's go ahead. I'll put the hashtag out real quick so you guys can get started in that. And see, let me just go through what I'm giving out next because if you're not interested, like if this next giveaway, if it's something you're not interested in, then you know that's fine. It's just something that I had that's given to me through a sponsor, and I'm going to share it right here and tell you guys a little bit about it. And so if it's something you're interested in, then you can throw in the hashtag. If not, then you might want to skip it. If it's not going to do you any good. So let me pull this up here. All right. So what this is a magazine bumper for a High Point 9mm carbine, and it's by Long Shot Manufacturing. I'm going to be doing some videos on some other stuff they sent me. It's really a cool deal. I'm also I'm just going to be giving one of these away. They sent them to me as gifts to give out for the giveaway. So I want to thank Long Shot for doing that. Great company. Everything's American made. They're right down there in Georgia. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure. No, I'm sorry about that. They're in Tennessee. I apologize. They're in Tennessee. And so it's a really great company. I've been talking to the owner, and I don't know if it takes Glock mags or not, but I will show you here real quick. I have one set up. I didn't put this on because I was wanting to show you exactly kind of what deal is in them. Let me raise these up here. So this is just your standard High Point 9mm magazine. And so what these do is these go on here and makes it so when these magazines are more or less pretty much a flush mount magazine. So what this does is it gives an extension here to this magazine for the High Points. And once this, I know this, I ain't got this on here right. It comes with everything you need to mount it and everything like that. So it's a great deal. I already have one mounted up, but I wanted to show that one just so you kind of have an idea. So if you are interested in that, then go ahead and enter this right here. I have it up ready to collect entries on that. So it is hashtag HBN 17.2 for the second giveaway. So anyway, if that's something you like, if you have a friend, you might not have one, maybe you're going to get one, or if you have a friend that has one, and you want to gift it to them, then that's great. So anyway, let's go ahead and bring up the next topic. I thought this might be a little fun too here. So we will just go ahead and start with you, Jamie. As of right now, would you be able to live off the grid? Could you survive if you didn't have like electricity or your cell phone? Are you kind of halfway prepared, 50%, 100%? I thought this would just be something kind of fun to go through and see, if what everybody's opinion is on this. So would you be able to live off the grid right now, Jamie?
I just believe I can survive. Do I have everything that I want in order? No, I'm only about 25 to 50% where I want to be, but yeah, I think I could survive. I just don't want to. You know, it's hot in Georgia in the summer, and yeah, we don't want to live without air conditioning.
I don't blame you on that, buddy. I don't blame you. Is there like from what you have right now? Is like if you could like maybe get just a couple more things, if it might be Vienna sausages or whatever the case might be, what couple more things would you want to go ahead and grab?
Okay, man, listen. This is twice tonight you brought up Vienna sausages. I'm like, have you
Hey,
read
man.
the ingredients in those things?
You do
No.
realize they can just last forever.
Well, so can spam. Let's go with
Spam,
spam.
I
Yeah.
totally agree with you on that on the
Yeah,
spam.
I would.
mean,
Yeah, I
I
would
think
like
I have
to.
equal amount of both.
See, the thing about it is, I'm a deer hunter. I feel like I can kill enough meat for us to survive, but without air conditioning, you don't, you just, you can't keep that meat. You'd have to smoke it, or like in the old days, how they salt cured hams. You know, so I think what I'm looking at is obviously foodstuffs. The survival gear thing, I'm not sure if I wanted to do that or just buy, like cases of spam and big huge bags of rice. And I've got to start a garden. That's another thing on my list, and start canning some tomatoes and stuff like that. Tomatoes are really good for you, I think. And of course, everything comes out of the garden would, but yeah, I hear you, Gary. I know what you mean. I just spam is decent. It's just really salty, which you can uh, just brine it in water. Just let it soak in water for a while, and it'll be a lot better. But yeah, I think eventually we'll have chickens. I think that'll help on a lot of things. If you think about chickens, you got occasional meat from the birds, you got eggs, and you've got fertilizer for your garden. So chickens would be a great help in a time
They
like
are.
that. And,
Oh, most definitely.
but the thing, I have skills to be able to make stuff to barter with to get whatever you need, and I think that's important. Um, One more thing: if you got an old vehicle, keep it running, and like if you've got one uh, still runs on points, you know, not electronic ignition, but the old-fashioned points and all that kind of stuff, keep that thing running. I know it's a gas hog, but do the best you can. I know without electricity, how we're going to get gas. Well, you can go to these gas tanks and you figure out how to pump that gas up out of there. You can find a manual pump if you have to. But yeah, man, this doomsday thing is something I try not to think about, but the current conditions in society make you have to think about it. So, what about you, Bubba?
I probably could, as someone who's been homeless before. I could probably do it pretty easily, but everybody likes to claim to be fine or whatever. They got a bunch of stocks up and stuff like that, but ultimately, no one's really going to know if they're going to be ready for something like that until it actually happens. Like you can have all the prep work, have all the skills, have all the things necessary, but until it actually happens, you don't know what you're going to do or how you're actually going to handle stuff. Like you can mentally prepare yourself, you can do all kinds of different things, but actually living through the actual thing itself is a completely and totally different story. I'm sorry if that hurts anybody's feelings, but that's just a fact. Thinking about things and having things actually happen, two different things.
Yeah.
You're not your body's like for. I'm not going to say it this way. Serotonin, dopamine, adrenaline, and endorphins and stuff like that. It's going to change the way you think, the way you look through things, and stuff like that. So, no matter how much you prepare yourself in a fantastical experience that you put yourself in, until it actually happens, you're not going to know what's going to happen. So, I would say I would be fine, but I don't know ultimately. Could I live off just the land and stuff? Yeah, absolutely fine. If I had to find like mushrooms or something, which ones I can eat, I could do that. I can do all sorts of different things. What vegetables you can eat, what wild vegetables you can eat, what vegetables you can't eat, how to find directions, stuff like that. Yeah, I could probably do that.
Yeah.
But the actual act of it and the actual necessity of it actually happening are two different things. And that's just my opinion on it. And people can say whatever they want to say. It's whatever. I'd like to think that everybody's probably just like, yeah, no, I'd be fine. I could do it. I can make do. As human beings, we adapt to situations anyway. So maybe that'll kick in. Then again, we got a lot of people out there that don't have any survival instincts, and I say that because of the fact I've seen how some people drive. So
I've seen how some people shop at the grocery store too.
And we've also got idiots that were buying up toilet paper left and right for COVID, as if toilet paper was going to save you from getting the truth. That still mind boggles me. So as a nation, I don't think anybody's really prepared.
We only bought toilet paper so we didn't have to cut all the sleeves off our shirts.
And you know what? If you're going to be survivalist, use your hands. Hard mode's duct tape, by the way. Hard mode's duct tape toilet paper.
Nothing funnier than when you meet a feller hunter in the woods that's missing a sleeve. Oh boy. So how about you, Gary?
I reckon I'm in trouble. I mean, I got guns and I got ammo around here and stuff like that, but as far as food and water and stuff like that, I live in an apartment. I got what I got. Not a whole lot of room to store stuff even. So I would have to, if push come to shove, I'd have to find friends or family to go stay with that had more. I'd have to get to somebody if I could, which the problem is everybody I know is a good bit away, and if my vehicle is disabled, well, there I am. So
long hike, huh?
Yeah, but I guess I'd have to find a water source. I might remember how to shoot a bird or a squirrel or something like that. When push come to shove, you don't know what you're capable of. So I might surprise myself. I have hunted, but am I confident that I could? No, but I'd darn sure try. That's for sure. I wouldn't give up. That's for sure. Interesting question, really.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you can make it to Snob's house or head towards the hills down here, that's one thing, for sure.
Yeah, that's right. I got enough friends if I could just get to them.
You betcha. So for me, I mean, I got more than one rig, but my good old Chevy square body, truck with a carburetor on it and stuff, 4-wheel drive, it'd come in pretty handy on that. And then your chickens and your garden and your cannon, that would be something for us. Living here in the Ozark Mountains, it's fairly easy, or not easy, I say. In the wintertime, we might get a snowstorm or whatever with all these trees around here, and we'll lose power. It might be for days or a week, 2 weeks. Of course, it's getting better as years go on with the better equipment they have to clear these hills and hollers they have to go down and up for the electric company to keep stuff cleared away. It's quite a feat for them. Then when something does go down, for them to get to it and fix it. So wintertime, we're totally prepared. Week, 2 weeks, month, without electricity. But then that goes back to what Jamie's saying. Man, it happened in the summertime. That sure be a lot harder on me, personally. Do without that air conditioning and some of that other stuff. I mean, but I think we could do a pretty decent little spell if we had to. But it's something to think about. And yeah, there's stuff that I still think I need to get this or that, or stocked up a little bit more. But it's something that we all should be kind of have a little bit of a plan for. Same as if people talk about you walk into a store, you notice your surroundings or this and that. I feel like this is something that should also have somewhat of a plan, some of an idea of what you might do if it's making it to someone else's place, or what you would have or need to get. I think it's something people should think about a little bit. So anyway, but man, there's some great comments out there, man. I think for most part of this community, I think a lot of everybody will be in pretty good shape, at least for a little while. But anyway, if you'd like to win that magazine bumper for 9mm, make sure you get the hashtag in HBN 17.2, and we'll just go ahead and give that away here real soon. So
I'm gonna bid y'all good night. I got church in the morning. I need to go inspect my eyelids for cracks.
all right. Well, Jamie, thank you so much for getting on. Guys, if you've not been over to Jamie's channel, get over there and check it out. Do yourself a favor and subscribe. Great content, just awesome channel, awesome guy. So why don't you go ahead and plug your channel there and what you got coming up, Jamie?
Well, I got a video about 3 Marlin lever action rifles. I'm got the filming done. I got to edit it. Hopefully it'll be out sometime tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. Might be Monday or Tuesday, depending on how much time I got tomorrow. Because like you, I have a Chevy square body that's 1977, 305 V8, 3 on the tree, and guess what? It needs a water pump. So
you better get to O'Reilly's or somewhere and get that replaced.
After church tomorrow, I think I'll be doing that. But y'all check out my channel if you can, and hope y'all like this video, and talk a little bit about Andy's zinc bullets there too, and of course Friday nights 8:00 Georgia Shooting Connection channel. We have our reloading type live stream.
Don't want to miss that either. A lot of fun.
Oh. This coming Friday night, Cinco de Mayo. Let's see. Hasbro is having his 1,500 subscriber party at 6:00 Friday night.
That is right. Yes.
Then, on Georgia Shooting Connection, it's our 5th anniversary. We've been doing the Georgia Shooting Connection live stream for 5 years. It's coming Friday night. So maybe we'll have something special. And then right after us is Gizzard Gary. So busy night Friday night.
Yeah.
So
Friday nights are always so fun to look forward to with you, and then Gizzard Gary after that, and then now throwing Hasbro's on top of that. It's just going to be, something that you just can't miss Friday nights.
Start the weekend
Pretty
out
rich.
right.
Heck
Absolutely.
yeah.
I just wish I could make them for him. I'm always leaving for work around the time y'all stuff comes on.
Oh man.
Well, if any of y'all want to come on Friday night, let me know. I know I always send Hillbilly a link, but Gary, you're welcome anytime. Bubba, anytime you want. Thanks.
I'll try to get in there. I just bought a Lee turret press kit here, so I'm gonna be reloading 6.5 Creedmoor and 38 special. So I might join you.
Let's start with 38 special and work from there. We'll fix you right up, buddy.
All right.
Y'all have a good rest of the night. Thanks for having me, Hillbilly. Good to see you guys.
Thanks for being on, Jamie. Appreciate
Jamie.
you, buddy. Have a good evening.
You too. Good night.
All right, buddy. Oh man. So let's go ahead and do this giveaway real quick. Let's see if I can get this up here. I'll share the screen. Always takes me a second here. Get it up and going. So we have 9 entries, and this is for the Long Shot manufacturing their 9mm high point bumper for the magazine. And so anyway, I'm going to line this up and give it a spin here and see who wins. Gunnin' Wild. All right. I'm going to write your name here, buddy. Gunnin' Wild one. Congratulations, buddy. That's awesome. Congratulations, man. So give me a second here. Get this turned off here. So, buddy, email me here at this email, and I'll get that sent out to you. And it'll be fun. You'll really like it, because I've already tried one out and on mine and my other magazine, and I really like it because it's kind of like adding a mag flare or something. I mean, it's to where like it sticks down there far enough to where if you have any trouble with the release or whatever, you can at least go ahead and grab a hold of it and get that magazine out of there. And same way putting it in, I really like it. So anyway, congratulations, buddy. I'll get that out to you. Give me that email.
Oh,
So,
before we go any further, I have to ask this question to two people in the audience. Boomstick, Jeff from Gun and Wild. Does Gizzard Gary right now with his shaved face, does he not look like Rob from Firearms Addict? Tell me I'm not the only one that sees it right now. Hopefully I'm right, but Gary looks just like my buddy Rob from Firearms Addict.
I hope that's a good thing.
Oh yeah, Rob's a good guy. I like him.
All right.
We got a connoisseur of Boomstick. What do you think? Does he look like Rob?
Boomstick's not going to comment, I guess.
If I know Boom's like, I was thinking that too, but I didn't want to say it.
Well, all righty. So we're going to have one last little quick topic tonight. and then we'll call it a night. And I thought, well, since we've been talking about some shooting and some hunting and some stuff like that, Boomstick says absolutely. So, Gizzard, that might be your doppelganger. Who
I
knows?
guess so. Long lost brother or something like that. I don't know.
You betcha. So, anyway, we'll just start back up with you, Bubba. So, kind of like, who taught you how to shoot? Yeah, I think it'd definitely be more than one person because I know, like, I kind of have to give the credit to about 3 people, growing up.
If I had to say who taught me how to shoot, I'd have to start with my grandfather, even though he hates guns. He absolutely hates guns. But he did teach me how to shoot some. And then after that, it would be a little bit from my dad. Most of my shooting comes from Grand Thumb, administrative results, a little bit of Hickok 45, and let's see. Actually, Rob from Hamilton Outdoors. So if I had to say anybody, it'd be those 4 people, those 5 people, or maybe 6. Heck, I can't count them in Kentucky. Math is illegal.
Well,
That's why we have Kentucky windage.
Tommy Bosch said he taught himself how to shoot. That's why he has bad habits. What about you, Gary?
Well, as far as shotguns, Dad taught me, but as far as handguns, and of course, I only got into start buying handguns in 2015, so really not that long ago. And like a lot of people, he mentioned Hickok 45. I watched the heck out of Hickok 45 when I was first getting onto YouTube. Military Arms Channel, Iraq Veteran 8888, all them big boys back then I used to watch.
Yeah.
So you'd pick up tips, even Yankee, pick up tips on, proper handgun grip and stuff like that, and stance and stuff like that. And I watched a few videos here and there of, tips to improve your shooting and stuff like that. And then once you get brave enough to start sticking videos of yourself shooting a gun on YouTube, everybody out there in the audience will help you. Because they say, well, the reason you didn't hit that target is because you had your grip wrong on that gun, dummy. And you need to do this or you need to quit limp wristing that pistol. Everybody out there in the comments knows how to fix your shooting. So you'll have plenty of help once you put your own videos out on YouTube. So God forbid you miss the bullseye, but hey, I do miss the bullseye every once in a while. So.
Oh, man, me too.
Boomy, you hush. You don't need nobody to teach you how to shoot. I've seen your groupings.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, I think, it started out with probably my grandfather's, and then, and my dad, and then, like that neighbor I was talking about earlier, he's actually one that really got me into bow hunting, and stuff. But the thing is like you both said, for me, there's always room for improvement. No doubt. My family, we had some pistols. Most of the shooting we done, was probably revolved around hunting, growing up. If it was bird hunting, deer hunting, skeet shooting, whatever the case might be. And so most of that involved rifles. And so, my pistol shooting is something I've really, really had to work on and still working on. I mean, still a long ways from being really good, pretty decent with a pistol. Still a long ways away from that. And so these videos, this content that people put out, I mean, people even in this community, puts out some great videos. And so, you can always pick up some tips from this person and that person and apply them. And then, like you said, Gary, also when you're videotaping yourself, and you see yourself in a video, you think, my goodness, did I flinch that bad?
Yeah. It's like, oh my God.
No wonder I missed, or I was off by 6 inches. And, that was something like I had used, luckily, by the time my daughters had got into sports, we had the camcorders, didn't really have like the video phones you could film on. But like I could, film, some of my other basketball games or whatever. And like my one daughter, she played like forward, down low. And, I taught her, like, when that ball goes up, if it's, your team shooting it or the other team, you find somebody, you box them out, and look for that rebound. And I'd tell her, I'd be like, I was like, you would have had those rebounds. If you were too close to the goal, you was watching the ball go up, see if it hit the goal and made the basket or not. It's like, no, I wasn't. And I'd show her on a video. It's like, oh, wow. I thought I was doing that, but I really wasn't. And same way, like with your golf swing or whatever, filming yourself shooting, I think can help out so much, just like it does in so many other things. So, but man, what a fun night. I mean, I've enjoyed this so much. We've had a great side chat on here, great panel. I'm feeling so much better. My throat still hurts a little bit, but I'm so glad I was able to make it through here without coughing all the time and stuff like that, and not getting anybody else sick on the panel. Be contagious, So anyway, guys, I want to thank you all for being on the panel. It's been great. The side chat's been rocking. I just had such a fun time. So anyway, I just want to say we'll just go ahead and end the show here tonight. First of all, we want to let Bubba and Gary plug their channels. And so anyway, Bubba, what you got coming up, buddy? Anything you want to plug? You're on mute, buddy. Can't hear you.
I can always say, go to Boomstick Revenge's channel right now since his main channel isn't up. That man shoots some of the craziest decent groupings I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, man.
No matter what range it is. And so don't be telling anybody that you need to learn how to shoot. I don't want to hear that. But plug his channel, plug Hamilton Outdoors, which he ain't doing too many gun reviews right now just because YouTube's been getting on him a lot here lately. So it is what it is. As far as me coming up, like I said earlier, I'm getting that turret press coming in the mail. I got a pretty decent price on the kit for it. So the only thing it doesn't come with is dies. So the only thing I got to get after that dies. So probably going to be starting to do some reloading. And I still got 2 guns. I still got to sight in that competition rifle, and I got to try out that 38 special I got. Hopefully, I'll be able to get out to the range either tomorrow or Monday. I'm hoping. I'm getting tired of not being able to shoot. Those of you with third shift jobs, you understand what I'm talking about. That graveyard shift really screws up your schedules and stuff. So hopefully I get something done. Weather permitting and whatnot. And if not, I'll probably just drudge out in the middle of the mud somewhere and start shooting at random stuff out in the woods. Because I'll be honest, I'm getting tired of it.
Real quick, gun webs. Are you having a show tonight? I know you hadn't had one. You've been busy for the last few nights and stuff. So anyway, if you're still on here, go ahead and let us know if you're having a show tonight, and we can all, make sure we jump over there and visit you. You always have a great show pretty much every night. And so I just wanted to holler at him real quick. And so, yeah, guys, if you've not been to Bubba's channel, go check it out. Subscribe to him. Do yourself a favor. I mean, a lot of fun. Bubba is like most everybody on here. They're not hiding anything. They're just good people, and they are who they are, and so that's what makes it great. And so, okay, Gary, what you got coming up, buddy?
Oh, well, we'll see. I've got some content I need to put out, so I'll be working on that. And of course, Friday night I have Foul Territory on. That's at 9 p.m. Central every Friday. So hopefully everybody can get there. I guess I wasn't even thinking about being Cinco de Mayo, but might have to fix some tacos or something that night and celebrate. But anyway, thanks for the invite. Glad to have you back. That imposter just wasn't anywhere near as good as you are in doing this show. So
Oh no, man.
Yeah, we're glad to have you back. I hope you keep getting better. You get to feeling better, get rid of that sore throat or whatever, and get out there shooting. I encourage everybody else out there. We talked about that tonight. If you get a chance, go outside, go somewhere, go shoot your guns, get better. Don't shoot up all your ammo, though. Have a good evening. Thanks.
Yeah, I heard the imposter shaved his face and everything to try to look like somebody else.
Yeah, pretty much. I didn't grow my hair long, though.
Yeah, well, that was such a great show. I enjoyed it so much. And somebody asked me once, said, when is Cinco de Mayo? And I was like, well, it's kind of like New Year's Eve. It's the same time every year. And it kind of explains it.
Yeah, it's kind of in the name, 5th of May.
Yeah.
Well, the first of the year is April 1st, guys. You all should know that.
Fiscal year.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I sure appreciate y'all jumping on, and it's just been a blast. And so, anyway, I just want to say thank you, everybody, Hillbilly Nation. I just appreciate y'all, everybody that's in the panel and the side chat and everything. I just have a blast doing this with y'all, getting to spend Saturday night with yous. And just remember, God, family, and country. Make somebody's day better, will you? And if the good Lord's willing and the creeks don't rise, we'll be seeing you again. I love you, Hillbilly Nation. Everybody say goodbye.